sure if you'd be reading.
Hey y'all, this is a grant workshop and we're going to talk about dates for the city and possible grant opportunities. Ta-da.
Start with January.
So we're going to talk dates first.
Yeah. We're going to be the quickest and most concise, easiest. Maybe. So what happens in January?
Are we talking from like now on or just next year?
Every year.
Every year.
Oh,
Where there's
every year,
recurring events.
pretty much.
Yeah, because there's a lot of events that are recurring, but I just don't know when they are. And then there's those special ones that happen, like, trail riders in February or something with the rodeo.
Yeah, there's usually trail riders in February.
January's pretty quiet.
January, I can't think of anything in particular that happens in January. I mean, there's, holidays was in already, but I can't think of anything in particular that happens in January.
For events, for anything around here locally, community interest or participation.
And then, in February, it's the rodeo, it's the trail riders, the Mesquite Trail Riders. That it's, what is it now, the Sunday after Super Bowl? It was always Super Bowl Sunday. It coincides with the San Antonio Rodeo, so it's whatever date that is. Let's see.
They come here, 2 days before?
They come here the day before, typically on the Sunday, and then typically head out on the Monday.
The rodeo starts
Or the rodeo starts like that Tuesday or
Tuesday,
something,
okay.
or maybe, yeah.
I'm pretty sure San Antonio Rodeo already has their dates on the website. And that would
Probably.
that would help us with
Yeah.
the trail riders.
Yeah.
Anything else in February?
There is, we're talking just city events, or are we talking?
Community events, city event, I mean, they're all-
because the aerodrome has their volunteer work days, like, once a month or once or twice a month. I don't know if that's something that,
yeah, I've seen that on the Google Calendar.
yeah.
I don't mind.
I saw,
promoting
yeah,
it.
not sure if that's
That's-
something to,
That may or may not
That's their work
meet
day.
our need, but
Yeah.
that's
it's
okay.
a volunteer,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not like a fly-in.
No.
And the fly-in, I think those would be beneficial to have a
So that's,
vendor
yeah,
booth.
May and November. It's like the first Saturday in May and first Saturday in November. Let's see.
I know in October we have National Night Out, Trunk or Treat. Was there
October is trunk or treat, yeah.
National Night Out. July is the Kingsbury Volunteer Fire Department
Last Saturday in July.
fundraiser. We may try to do something.
in June and May and
I believe it's the first Saturday in May. There's, let's see, so that's. There's in June there is the 90 which is
the
not,
90s.
yeah, just Friday and Saturday, like that first Friday and Saturday, I believe.
I think that's right.
I don't know if that's their,
Yeah, I know they've got a website. Pretty sure I can-
or, yeah, or is that, or Schulenburg has the,
the schedule.
yeah, sort of, yeah. Trail ride breakfast, yeah. So the trail ride breakfast that the city has been sponsoring, that's like this last, it was on the 5th, it's on Monday.
Okay.
Is there anything happening in March that, or like,
Well, I was,
the
before we got started on
Jeepers or something? They're like a- I'm sorry, Sam.
the grant application deadlines, what, because we're probably going to be recording, like, water development board applications. We'd start preparing them in February, to be submitted in March.
I think the easiest way to help me with that, in the committee, would just send an email of those dates. That would be most helpful. That'd be easiest, because then I can. So part of why I'm writing it down is for.
Oh, was that my bit?
But I'm hoping to.
I might have handed you somebody else's.
I think there was a pen on it too.
Okay,
Yeah.
Take a table pen.
let's see,
A table pen.
a table pen. Just looking. Yeah, that's the first Saturday.
Oh, is it only?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, this is just the.
And then I've got the.
Yeah.
Just what we're doing.
Fall flying.
There is the Big Easy has a barbecue or a chili cook-off every year. I don't know if that's,
December? Yeah, that's something that we,
okay, so this year, it's that one's in March.
so that's what's happening, okay.
So
this
maybe
is
last
the-
Saturday in March.
It's this saloon here at the end?
Yeah,
Okay. I got the trunk or treat, is that what it is?
trunk or treat, and that day can vary, just depends on what day
Right.
Halloween is on and what day makes sense, and,
And I also know that the dates are still pending for the fall harvest and.
No, it's always the same Saturday.
oh, is it the second Saturday? Okay,
Okay.
sorry, I had it down as, in my head as first.
Oh.
And I know,
Second, I saw it on the calendar.
so I know sometimes you go before or after, I don't know.
It
I
used
haven't
to
been, that's
be,
why.
it used to go before or after.
Yeah, so that's why I was always
Kind of
kind
nailed
of.
down as the same day as the fly-in, fall fly-in.
Yeah. So, anyway, I can,
Solar,
when y'all find out, it's just, let me
Yeah.
know, or
It is November the 9th.
Okay.
what's that?
fall
Fall
harvest.
So it is the
harvest.
first,
And
it's the
also
first,
fire.
okay, so it's the
Every
first
fire.
Saturday. That's right, I think we did ours the second.
Second Saturday.
Is that the second? Okay, so this is
It is the second
ninth.
Saturday.
Right,
I'm
right,
looking
right.
at it on the calendar on the website.
The fly-in is the first weekend?
They're the same
Same
day.
day.
First Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
So it is the second Saturday, yeah.
Is it? Well, the fly-in this year was the first Saturday in May.
It's always the first day and the second.
Second
weekend.
and.
Okay.
I know that's confusing. That's confusing.
That way, okay.
Thank you for clearing that, because
Maybe
I was
that's-
really confused. Cause I had no idea.
Look at the calendar. The Kingsbury Incorporation anniversary is May 19th.
That's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
And that
That was the date of, the judge signed the order incorporating Kingsbury, May 19th.
And that will be the 10th anniversary.
It'll be the 10th anniversary coming up, yes.
So that would be something
Next
next year, 25.
Yeah,
So that would be something that I think the committee would definitely like to.
yes, yes.
Put up and promote and see what.
What is that date?
May
5/19.
19th. And what was, oh, this year, the trail riders coincide with Veterans Day, right, so we had the little Veterans Day thing, okay. I was
In
gonna say, did
November?
we have, no, the trail riders coincided in February. It coincided with Veterans Day this year, so we had a
I
Veterans
thought
Day.
Veterans Day was November. Oh, is it twice a year?
No. Maybe it was, it
Well,
coincided with the,
November,
no, with the trail, wasn't it at the Trail Riders that we had a, what day was it that we coincided, we had a, yeah, it was Veterans Day.
well, I thought.
Well, it was fall harvest last year, they
Well,
came
that's
through.
it.
No,
and-
no, well, we had like a,
Memorial Day was there.
Oh, that all lined up.
Yeah, it was Veterans
Yes.
Day.
It wasn't Veterans Day, it was the.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day
Memorial
is in
Day
May.
was in May.
No,
Veterans
it was
Day
Veterans
is
Day.
in November, but
No,
Veterans
but
Day
it was
is in
some other, it was some
November.
other Veteran Day. It was some other Veteran Day.
The moon's in June.
I think it was Veterans Day, and then there was some other thing too, like some, they were walking from Blue or
yeah,
something going on.
yeah.
That was last year.
Um,
But speaking of fall harvest, we did kind of have to start planning that too.
Yeah, this is why I'm trying to get what's coming up 6 months out, so I can start, okay, here we go, here's, so we can do this little step by step instead of crunch. Last minute.
Yeah, it's really bugging me because I'm pretty sure it was during the Trail Riders because they had the whole flag ceremony. It
It was
was,
on, it was a fall harvest.
It was at fall
It was
harvest.
fall
It was at fall harvest.
With the Alamo caretakers, they gave us
Give
those
some
little
more.
flags. They,
Yep.
they were supposed to stay at our place, but they ended up staying out here, it was too muddy, 'cause they just.
okay, so it's just a separate set of Trail
But
Riders.
Veterans Day is in November.
Yes,
Right.
but I'm trying to think, was it some other,
No,
no,
it was
okay,
fall harvest.
so no,
We got up on the
okay.
stage, you and
I just
gave
had it in my
us a
head
flag
that
and
it was,
And it was the same day that they, one of their.
Okay, we did the Trail
cars
Riders.
ran
Okay.
over a person.
yeah,
They
One
have
of the guys
that.
got run over by her.
yeah, I ran, yeah. Oh, no, I was in the wagon.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
was
that's
like,
right.
watch
It
out.
was a big cowboy. That's right.
What got run
It was
over?
her who pushed him
Yeah,
out.
one of the cowboys got run over by a mule or the.
By the
Got
wagon.
run over by
Pushed him
the
out.
wagon.
I heard it from Stampede.
Stampede.
And then he, yeah, then it,
started it.
yeah,
Yes,
then
he
he,
pushed him out.
then it took off the
Okay.
window of, the side window of the truck. Ooh, the-
Awesome. Well, this gives me some.
Happy mules.
This gives me some really good calendar and dates to start planning for and assisting the committee with planning and helping with.
Nothing in August, September, October.
Well, October's National Night Out,
Oh, right.
and then Trunk or Treat, and then I'm not sure if the Jeepers is gonna do anything.
That's kind of
And
just
then-
year by year,
I don't know if there's anything for like Easter with it being April, but I don't know of anything in December or August, September at this point. That doesn't mean we couldn't come up with something or.
I saw
Or what have you,
something
but-
about
Well, September's the full moon that we're doing.
a Halloween party at the VF, the
American Legion
Yeah.
or the American.
It's Seguin, but it's kind of on our side of Seguin.
American.
That's the American Legion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a trunk or treat.
Could we do a toy drive?
In December, or
Yeah.
in the fall.
Late November, early December, or something for Christmas?
Who would we want to sponsor and support? The Brown Santa, like the sheriff department,
I was thinking about just strictly local.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, just, local toy drive, local kids.
Yeah.
I don't know, is that,
How you gonna?
I don't know, I don't know.
You're gonna do that, that'd be like the auxiliaries,
Christmas party.
gift
Yeah, they do that.
baskets that they
Yeah.
send out to
To
the
the,
retired, or
yeah,
members, so you have to, we can, if you organize it, you got a survey and find where the kids are. I guess, include all the kids, that's gonna be,
It's
that's gonna be.
it's called for Santa Claus.
Something to consider.
Popcorn, those are the expensive. We have popcorn snowstorm downtown.
yeah.
All the kids just come out and then put a blast in the popcorn stuff.
Nice.
So like Christmas.
A popcorn gun machine. That's great.
Okay. Awesome. If you think of anything else, please.
I think at some point we should have like a little
Please,
4th of July thing.
Well, the September full moon should be on there.
is that,
If it will.
Half of it's my will.
oh,
Yeah, but it's
okay.
our responsibility. Lilith's gonna do July or August. I almost sent out the invite, it's too stressed.
So,
That'll be the next one.
it's the City of Kingsbury full moon?
We can go buy a fireworks stand.
I mean, that's in downtown Kingsbury.
Kingsbury fireworks, which will have to.
Still sponsored by Apple.
Yeah. I had someone call
Yeah.
me
And we'll
asking about our
Well,
Homestead goodness.
Homestead goodness and,
permitting for fireworks
ranch brand,
stands.
ranch brand experience, yes.
Could they leave it up all year?
What date is that, September? Do you know? Just,
I have my moon phase calendar on me.
There's the New Year's
I
Eve
went at one point
party.
and put all of them in for this
Sure
year.
is. The New Year's Eve party too.
That's just a, you know,
Just a party.
It's your
Kind of
party.
Party.
just a,
Well, I mean, we're,
But-
you know, the aerodrome isn't the city's thing either. So
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
what
neither is-
happens.
the full moon, I mean, it's not the city's thing either, they're definitely worth supporting.
The 18th of September.
Okay. Full moon.
Full moon.
Which is
For
Wednesday.
homestead goodness.
What was the booze?
River Ranch? No,
What was that booze
River Ranch.
sponsored?
it is River Ranch.
River Ranch.
Right?
River Ranch brand.
Ranch brand, okay, it was
River
something like
Ranch.
that.
I knew it was advertising from, I've never even been to that place, but I knew it was advertising from radio.
All right.
and you tip booze, and there's typically the booze and brews, although they are not, they don't want to pay for a venue, so they may or may not, continue, but that, if they do,
Now that you're.
They make
a
money,
venue,
they don't wanna pay for a vendor, or do they not make money?
they don't want to pay for a venue. They try to have, the fire department, but the fire department, have it here, but they would also charge.
Yeah, well, also.
We realize.
So,
They passed this rule a while back when I first was joining, whether or not to allow booze in the fire department anymore. And technically, according to our own rules, we voted to not, except for the barbecue and when outside people have their own events. Other than that, we're not supposed to allow.
yeah, I mean, I can understand, they're
Oh,
trying to make,
makes sense.
as much as they can for the vendors, but it also
No fire.
is.
No.
Yeah, it's also, like, if you're gonna give up your place, or here.
It's not, not ideal.
Yeah.
Bad, not bad fire, it's just a bad precedent that could potentially turn into something that.
But, I would
Yeah.
say that that's something to put on the
Coming on.
calendar and, if
Everybody
it
go
doesn't
down.
happen, then that's something to put on the calendar.
When is it normally? November?
It's December.
Oh, okay.
The income potential of that though, think about a fire truck.
Awesome. Thank you all, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I went through this year's calendar and looked at that.
Okay. We're gonna talk grants now?
Will you write something down for me before you start asking about agenda items for Monday? I'm working on the Kingsbury budget, so budget has to be passed by, September 30th, so just to make sure we do a couple of reviews before we do a public hearing. So, go ahead and review.
Okay. So this is an item for the agenda.
For the next Mondays and stuff. So I just, so if you write it down, then there's at least 2 of us, 3 of us, 4 of us, that,
And you have habitable spaces on the calendar. We have to ask for a letter from you and, address
Oh.
Kingsbury as a partner for our grant writing.
Okay, yeah, for the
For the Our Town grant,
Our
and
Town.
there's a few others, I think, creative placement grants.
Okay.
The Our Town grant especially, you know, would be for Kingsbury.
So just asking for Kingsbury's permission.
Well, I think I was talking about it, I think I need maybe not an ordinance, but a resolution or some kind of thing, and I don't really know to write resolutions, but I can maybe send some, whatever needs to be in there. It just needs to be like Kingsbury will work with Habitable Spaces to
Whereas,
create a,
safety,
yeah,
fair,
whereas, such forth to, you know, on this project for. our
Should I try to get that
Didn't we
written
do
and ready for the meeting
several years
on
back?
Monday, or?
Right, so it's
Every year.
Yeah, I mean,
No, this isn't Fall Harvest, this is
I'm
grant
not-
writing for other.
Let me see if this thing's charged yet.
Right, am I wrong?
Yeah, this is for the Our Town grant.
Okay, yeah.
find that out how.
Outhouse?
I will get that to you, either tonight or tomorrow, with it to write, and then I was thinking I could pre-write a letter for you to look through.
Sure.
Decide if you like it or not.
Sure.
I was thinking also if we can at some point soon maybe have devote a little bit of the development committee meeting to Fall Harvest, so we don't have to have a whole separate Fall Harvest meeting, just because we can't talk, but there's like certain things like the outhouses, I think you paid for out of your pocket last year, so maybe Kingsbury should be paying for the outhouses. And I wanted to ask you if you're gonna have a band in the dance hall, because then we don't have to even deal with the stage, which would be a lot easier. But food for thought. I don't know if you thought about it.
This is Fall Harvest?
Fall Harvest.
Sure.
Because if you guys did bands in the dance hall, then we wouldn't have to worry about getting a stage, and we could just, you know, have the vendors as usual out there, make our lives easier, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And then you'll make, you know, so then we just have to worry about outhouses.
Maybe by then.
Have some real restrooms.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Working on it. Yeah.
Ooh, that is exciting.
Getting
Get
my.
one downtown before I
Indoor
have one on my
plumbing?
Getting my.
Get one downtown Kingsbury before I have one on my
We're
farm.
having to get my bond for beer and stuff. So, working on it every day. Every. Yeah, expensive.
Okay. Well, hopefully it'll, all be worth it,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Okay, are we talking about grants? Well, so I guess what we could come up with is the, you know, the plan. I have thoughts on a plan that I would like to kind of start writing for the Our Town grant, which, would be, kind of a kind of everything we talked about last time. You know, an off-grid city hall or, a community space that can be used as a classroom space, and the water collection that we want to do off the roof, and then, you know, obviously we need land because we need to do the well. But yeah, I think an off-grid city hall and classroom space and heating and cooling space is the first thing, and then what Habitable wants to see if we're going to put grant money into this is a classroom space, but maybe it could be all one building. I'd also love to work with Texas Cobb since they're local, but she works for them.
With the what?
Texas Cobb.
Oh,
Simon Gonzalez's company. Kingsbury School. Where they're at.
It's like Cobb buildings. They're really beautiful. Cobb is fireproof, tornado proof, hurricane proof, pest proof, King's hot and cold. that's just the building, so I guess we've gotta deal with the grants. I mean, we need, what else do we need? We're doing water collection, we need well land.
What is your
Land, and I thought that
what
was,
is the
that was,
our town grant, what is your deadlines for that?
It's August 1st, it's August 15th for to get the whole thing in. So it's pretty short turnaround, but it's likely that, I wanna go ahead and apply for it because chances are we won't get it this round.
How often does it come around?
Every year.
Once a year?
Yeah, and
So it is running out.
evidently they really like to give people who've already applied that, they want us, if they see them, get it,
But it is running out, it's ratcheting down.
well, it depends if Trump gets it or not. I don't know if Annie is gonna be
But I think
around
it's
much
ratcheting
longer.
down. I think regardless, isn't it ratcheting down regardless?
That was another.
Well, everything's
I don't-
ratcheting down.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, I think they're, in past years, they gave more out.
They gave a lot more out.
I felt it's even ratcheting down.
But it is
because
$150,000,
expensive.
so, I mean, if we could get $150,000, it's $150,000, they need a matching of $150,000.
I thought we had a couple of years left.
How much can y'all match?
We need providing the $150,000.
Oh, the word's
So
matching.
Kingsbury would have to come up with the rest.
Okay.
We can ask for as much as we can match. So the more we can come up with on one end, maybe through grant, you've already got 35. So that's in the kitty. So if we can get the 50, and then if we can get the grants works people to get us another grant, then that's, I mean,
I'm sorry, we're at 35.
Siller.
the Clifford grant. That would be considered a matching fund because it would all go towards the same project. So,
Looks like 32.
Because the project for the Cliff Grant hasn't even been identified yet, right?
yes, we
Yeah, I know,
identified
but
that.
it's,
Oh, we did?
our
Well,
deadline
when
for
we had
that is
meeting in,
December?
everybody came
We
in
have
and said they wanted a well.
not necessarily-
We didn't
Oh,
even-
okay, got it, okay, yeah,
plan.
sorry.
Get writing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, okay, I had a misalignment of that.
we have 32, yeah, maybe.
If we have money,
Well, we don't have enough
they have
money.
a commitment to fund us if we meet those deadlines.
We have that money, so we have 32 or,
Sitting in the bank.
that's sitting, that's secured.
Yeah.
So at this point, where we're standing, we can ask for the same amount from our town, 32. Or we could ask for more if you think this other grant could come through, that grant's for 50,000. So when you write grants and you write budgets, even if you don't have the cash in hand, we're lucky because we do have some of the cash in hand. Even if you don't, you say, well, I'd apply for this grant, for 50, I don't apply for, these are, as long as it adds up to whatever you're asking from them, we're good.
What are y'all the water development grant y'all are looking at? What's the deadline for that?
They'll put requests out in January, and the deadline will be in, March.
So that would still be before we get it back, I think, from our town.
So if you apply August 15th, but
It's a pretty long turnaround time. Let me see, I think it's April that we're back. Do you want?
And for the water development, there's any kind of a matching grant, or do you have any idea? Or is it just right off the top?
the ones we looked at were, I don't think they were matching.
Just,
It was just, for development funds from the water development board itself. They're looking for conserve and use water efficiently.
and
So there's no match required for that.
and that community block grant's the same way, it's just
That's great.
total, right? No
There's no match.
match on that.
Straight, it's it's what would be considered a straight grant.
Okay.
A lot of the arts grants, they want to match because nobody wants to give money to the arts. But the advantage of getting the city grants is it's much easier to get these grants, match, and then we can still match with whatever we got.
Okay.
We can get up to 150 with this our town, or anything lower, so then we'll get, we can get more, but
But it's all matching.
it's 50% match, so if you could get 150 raised on the other end, then you can ask for 150.
I think there is a small match for the block grants.
2%.
2%.
That's right. Okay.
So as we're, mulling all this over, it really comes down to land. And,
Yes.
We started thinking.
Well, ability to do some sleuthing and see if we can figure out, a plan of action. And then she's like, oh, my mom told me to call this guy who has land in Pinkford. Maybe I'll call him. So then she steps outside and calls him. Turns out it's the guy, the pastor, the church.
Oh,
And he does not want to sell to Kingsbury, and he will never sell to Kingsbury. He's more than happy for us to develop the place, but we will never own it. And to me, that just sounds like a huge risk.
yes.
I mean, it's like, even if we ask for a 100-year lease, what if he sells the land, what if he changes his mind, then what happens to the lease? We built all this stuff on it, so, and where are we gonna find land big enough to do everything that we need to do?
That is
Well,
just
except
sad.
for, well,
What's the smallest amount you need?
I think we need at least, so we need to.
2 acres,
I was thinking 3 acres.
3 acres, we could put everything, the minimally we wanted to, we originally conceived of putting in about 2 acres. 3 would be generous, they give us some parking even,
Right.
We didn't need a park.
yeah. But yeah,
Well, we started thinking, because we didn't own any land when this all started, and now we own some land. But if it's more like 2 acres, 3 acres, that's going to be probably too much for
Well-
us. But we've been thinking about like an acre.
An acre that would be attached to habitable at the front is not ideal because it's not downtown. But it could still be a community space up at the front, which is also right off of
Yeah, you're right
I-10.
in front.
And, I mean, we could conceivably do it all at the front of our property.
It's funny because I'm just putting in a request. I want to add another gate to the property on the northwest corner or whatever, the one from here.
the driveway?
Yeah, new. But if we're gonna go commercial, then I'd have to know that now. But anyway, I'm not now, but I mean, soon. But
There's different regulations.
totally
for the
different.
driveway,
Totally
and you have to go
different. If you
through
want a
it.
driveway as a resident, that's for your
okay.
safety.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's off the state road.
Yeah, because you are,
Easement
you're a
and
state,
drainage.
you're a farm market.
So,
Yeah.
So, I mean, what we were thinking is, we could probably give an acre, and then the attached other acreage could have the perennial food forest in it that I've been talking about, that's, habitable land. So we could, with our land, we can add so that there would be kind of public domain area. But, probably for us, because we live there, we would want, some kind of fencing around the city hall. And then if people wanted to get into the perennial food forest or the classroom that's open hours, that would be some kind of picnic hours. Yeah, so we're still kind of thinking about it, but,
I'm like 80% certain I want to do it.
80% certain you
Want to.
want to do it.
I'd like to if the city's even interested.
Yeah.
What is there building,
We
I'm
are
asking a
the same.
random question. Is there building restrictions to build opposite of the existing storefronts downtown?
Oh, that's another thing. That should be.
but that's not gonna give us what we need.
That's not gonna get the well. It's not gonna happen.
Will was bringing this up. We could maybe do a city hall there, but we're not gonna be able to have the pull in for the water.
Maybe
It's
you
not
should
big
get a
enough.
city hall there. Maybe this is just the emergency station.
You're talking,
Anyway.
what are you talking? You
So,
said you
okay,
had
so at the
store.
railroad, there used to be a.
So where,
A
okay, you
station.
got Main
A
Street,
station.
and you
Yeah.
got all the storefronts
Realistic.
directly across the pavement.
Yeah.
There's all that space before you hit the railroad.
It's not supposed to all be roads.
That may be.
Does that all belong to the railroad, or is
Yeah,
it
that's all
building
railroad
restriction?
Probably.
Okay, that's
So
what,
what-
I couldn't figure, but that's why I wanted to
Yeah.
See
ask.
that,
I
when
didn't
you're
want
leaving
to
town,
assume.
the stop
train
sign
stop there, so-
theoretically
Yeah,
would
there was
be
a
on your right hand
depot,
side,
and-
pick up the
train-
stop.
I guess the
The
company just
railroad
said
had
they
actually
own it.
did
way
that,
over.
dug that, where there was a big
But-
well and a windmill there system. The railroad did that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. No, you're right. No, because that, like I said, storefront.
I mean, honestly,
Discussed this at our house the other night. The storefront, at the storefront, city's property starts.
Right.
Basically the sidewalk.
But it's
Right.
not city
Really?
property.
It's that.
No, it's
It's
city.
in the city limits.
No, no,
The
no.
city doesn't own it.
Who owns the sidewalk?
Nobody owns the site.
Public.
Well, it's public property.
Right.
We've
Okay,
proven that
which
every
is
fall
city,
harvest.
the city's responsibility, liability.
Right.
Okay, which, I am, forgive me, God, I'm totally, I just don't like that idea at all.
What?
That the sidewalk is
Oh, I know.
city's responsibility.
I didn't
No.
realize that until the survey was
And,
done, and they're like,
I would like,
that's
well,
what the pins are.
all cities downtown Austin, San Antonio,
They're all-
Seguin, the sidewalk, right up to the outside surface of the glass on their window is not theirs. It's not their private, it's not private property. It ends right there, that first layer of brick on their building. And I said, so, they sweep the sidewalk, they clean the sidewalk, you fix your awning, that's not your property to maintain.
It's not my property. But I
The
maintain it.
city kind of maintains them, I guess, in large cities they do, I don't know. But,
No.
Yeah.
Because
It was the same
Yeah.
situation.
Especially downtown.
Building at 800 Broadway, we owned it, and it's, in all of those skyscrapers and everything, they build right up to their
I
property
know.
line. They choose to do so, and my building was right up to, so on two sides, on 8th Street and Broadway, in front of us was a sidewalk, and that belonged to the city. And,
You
so
said it
the
must not.
city did maintain it somewhat, because
Yeah.
when we'd have a water break in the water main right there coming into the building, the city would come in and excavate, fix it, and then it would come back and repair the sidewalk.
So that seems to be a common thing.
yeah,
Is there a bus stop?
and how that started and why they continue to do it, because today, you buy a lot anywhere, except, I guess, downtown in a municipality, and you can't build a house on the property line like that. You have to have a certain amount of setback all the way around. And by golly, and that, which makes sense to me, I mean, sort of.
You
And
say even out here, doesn't the bar ditch count as?
the bar ditch is probably part of the right of way for the highway.
No,
for the
yeah,
front
my
part.
cousin, right down Railway Street, I mean, according to some drawings, you know, the easement like comes through his yard on
Yeah.
that side of the street.
I still,
Okay.
I still see the challenge of trying to, the ideal situation for City Hall would be to be somewhere, would be downtown.
I
Yeah.
think the
centralized,
community
and then-
center could easily be up there, and the city hall can be in it until we
Yeah.
figure out a new plan.
I mean, if the railway would let us build that,
It would be great
No,
to
the
have a city hall
railway's not
downtown.
gonna give, they're not gonna give up.
But the plan, I think that what we should focus on
Sorry,
right now
I'm
is the
took you
plan
in
for
a
the-
rabbit hole, sorry.
Well, I mean, a city hall to me is great, it'd be awesome, and it'd be great to see something downtown, some cool thing that we built, but the people of Kingsbury have asked for heating and cooling spaces and water, and that's really the priority for, I think, all of us. I mean, if the power goes out again, guys, or if we, I mean, we
Oh,
need
no, I
to get all
think-
that shit secure.
You-
So if we built something that could be a community center that the city can meet in, that can do all this stuff, the water, and then
Oh,
we can worry, and then once we're in the grant getting, let's get some more grants and build a city hall downtown.
I agree. I still think that the center needs to be downtown, closer to downtown. I mean,
Ideally.
if it's
Community
not,
center
I mean, ideally, I'm
Ideally.
just saying
Yes,
ideally.
ideally.
And it's probably not gonna happen.
You're on that side, we're in between.
Ideally, it would be on.
Oh, yeah, no,
Broadway
I-
Street where that church is.
It's not, it's not for me to utilize, cause I'm not,
They're not near the city hall.
you know,
I think that'd be
Most community
fantastic.
centers are not.
How long
near
have
the
we been
city
looking
hall.
at this? I'm just saying,
Yeah.
TikTok is getting.
It's
I know.
also like, we need a place for trucks to pull through and get water, that's
I mean,
space.
We've been trying to get
And that's
downtown,
traffic.
we'd love it downtown, but no one's giving up any land. We keep trying to ask, and
That's-
find out.
yeah.
To me, that's our number one priority. Unless you have a big plan in your back pocket to maintain that $32,000 somehow. I mean, I guess we could come up
I'm
with
just looking,
something,
it's 36.
whatever. Yeah.
227.
I mean, if it was never offered to us, we wouldn't be looking for property left and right. We'd be maintaining what we have here, I think, maybe not. But there it is. And then the COVID hit and real estate prices went outrageous.
Yeah.
And now and finding property is hard to find, and it's expensive what we do. But I think that is our ultimate, our most priority, is a place. We need a real estate force to put in the stuff.
Fire department has lots of future plans for this
Banging our heads.
property. It's our training field there, and not looking to get rid of any.
We need our own office.
I didn't know that.
We
That's
need
why I asked the
those
question.
emergency services as in
Plus,
electricity,
the
water,
barbecue's moving back
and,
with the stage and all this stuff. Somebody.
this is what we need. We don't have to have it, but it would be nice. It'd be the one thing that it'd be the few things that pretty much everybody agreed that we could use,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well-
A good use of the money.
Office, emergency heating and cooling, water well, rainwater collection.
And like I said, and composting toilet.
The other thing
I,
is,
I really, this, 20, 30 years from now, there are gonna be people out here, and you'll be paying, it's gonna be outrageous what it's gonna take, and this, people are gonna do it to get water.
Oh, yeah,
And to
compost, I think we
get
should do-
sewage,
yes.
and, to have electricity in emergency situations. It's just not gonna be here. If it is, it's gonna come slowly, but it's gonna come in big chunks, huge chunks of money. And there's no need for that. I don't think.
So was the, as far as the Shiloh Church, was it just never sell or just never sell to Kingsbury?
I thought it was never self. I think she's added the.
Well, I mean, we're trying to get a meeting with him in face to face, but it sounds like he's not gonna sell.
He wants everyone to do.
He wants a classroom there, he wants classes, he wants stuff, but it's like, well, I mean, it's just, that's a big investment for no solid.
Guarantee.
No guarantee.
He's not the person you have to convince. He's not. That's the furthest to convince. But
He seems
you
to
can,
be the one, I mean.
no,
But the
they-
other thing about it is like,
Is this Mr. Malone?
maybe, yeah, I can't remember, I have to ask him all.
but if the church itself, they said, we're looking for a place, we're looking for a property, and personally would like to save that building historically.
Very much would.
Is,
But-
and we're willing to do that, but not just out of the kindness of our heart, although that's what stimulates it, but we have to have something too. We have to, that's what, it's a deal, it's a win for us, we think it's a win for that building and their history. I don't know. And if they don't feel like it's necessary to save the building, and they would just want to have you with a pole with a brass plaque in the middle of a grass field, okay, that's fine. Then, okay, we can move on. We can walk away from this too, but we can't.
I
Maybe
wouldn't
later
shut
on.
the door on,
No, I don't think so.
on a
Possible.
long-term lease on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't shut the door on that.
I don't feel
just
secure of a lease.
I don't feel, I mean, it's certainly not like owning it, that's for sure. However, by not owning it,
But also means you're not responsible for certain
Yeah.
aspects of
And
it.
the
Does that
other
mean it's
thing, the
not
other
going to
thing,
be in city limits?
I mean, it would be if,
I think
have a
there's,
lease?
I also see quite a
Oh, is
few
it not in the city?
It's
problematic
not in the
things
city.
with.
If you have a lease, it's not in the city.
Or if you have a lease that.
Well, it's not in the city
It's
currently.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
currently
in the
not
city
in
right now.
city jurisdiction.
it's not in the city right now.
But if the city is renting, that doesn't make it city property,
Right.
which
Right.
means it's not in town.
And
Yeah,
it
they
doesn't
can't-
unless
they
the
can't
property,
certification.
Could be. You know,
I
but,
think it's
yeah.
very risky
If you
all
can
around.
get
If we can't
everybody
own it, we're
around
gonna
the
build a
same
bunch of
page.
stuff, we could potentially lose all that stuff. The other thing is, we're gonna put a lot of the resources that we're trying to raise, I wanna renovate that church, but it's also like, let's think of our priorities, water and the weather and, to me, it's two projects. It's like, let's get the emergency situation
Does it
down.
not already have a well?
That place?
Yeah.
It probably has a
I don't know
Probably-
why it wouldn't.
I
know
think
that
it's got two.
plumbing.
I think
Well,
it's got two.
It's got
I've
plumbing.
seen two pumps on that
Yeah.
property.
You could have a lease that says you have a
No.
right to drill a well, as long as it says.
What's gonna
it
keep him
out.
from selling it to somebody else then?
A contract.
After the lease is, it just breaks the lease or something and
Yeah.
sells it.
Well,
Well, there's
I mean,
usually
you
an
can have-
addendum within the lease that
Well,
there's
you-
notification and financial reimbursement if he
You
sells.
file-
Not that it makes it any better, but.
File a memorandum of lease, which does, just the key points in the lease, you prep it and you file it in the deed records of Guadalupe County, saying the city has a 99-year lease or whatever, and that is noticed to any buyer that comes in and says,
I can't touch that for another 90 years.
Even if the pastor doesn't tell them about it, they're on notice, and so they've got to look at those records and say, oh, wait a minute, pastor, I'm not gonna buy this from you if there's a.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better about a lease,
It
but
might
still,
be
it's a
litigated.
lease.
Yeah, so he could still try to break it, and convince somebody, the people that are buying property do not want to buy into a lawsuit.
Correct, that's a giant fucking loss, yeah.
That's not
Well,
the
I
way-
mean, we still have a meeting ending with him, so Nicole's gonna try
I
to give us
mean,
a
that,
sit down.
that is basically a problem solver right there. I mean.
But it
problem
also,
solver.
it lends a lot more, we have to raise more money to get, I mean, there are other problems.
Right,
There's
I mean,
also-
but we would have, probably have those problems anyway.
Well, we're offering some land right up here, so we have solved the problem.
Are we
also.
thinking?
We might offer it, but I mean, it's
The
like, you
price
know,
is
that,
fine. If
that is maybe an easier path.
But it's not gonna be 2
And
acres.
that would be a path that
It doesn't
we
have a
own the land
structure
underneath the
already.
building.
This,
Right.
this one, you
And
could
it's
put a
more
roof on
secure
it and
path.
start collecting rain on it tomorrow.
Well,
It's
you know how long a
already
roof
there.
takes, it won't be tomorrow.
No, I
The
know,
church.
but you know what I'm
The
saying,
church,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Within a
I
week.
would consider putting a
don't
roof
think-
on it as a preliminary step to stop the deterioration.
Yeah.
I think
But
it's
that's
gonna
where the
be
money
quite a
would
bit
kinda
of-
end
Just need a
until we
couple
get
of
our
toothpicks
stuff.
on the side.
Yeah, really.
I see
Until,
it every
you know, we
day.
have to get some of
They're
our
calling
stuff
us.
up.
See it every morning.
Yeah.
In a 100-year lease, and we won't be here to see it. It won't matter. We'll have done the very best we could,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And we will have at least put a start on preserving that building.
Well, we'll just
I mean,
go
when-
ahead
when
with
I
this
had talked-
with writing grants as if, whatever, we have 2 options now.
When I
So
had talked to him,
if
he
we-
was excited about,
No.
He's
you know,
excited about
leasing.
classes.
he was excited about leasing it. At the time.
We would,
Well, we'll sit down and talk to him.
Yeah.
we
find out what
would
he
need
says.
that, we would need to have it, petition be annexed in this.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is the same exact problem we ran into with Will's property, he didn't wanna sell it. So we didn't wanna rent it either,
Wait a
so,
minute,
you know,
how
and
many-
Will's place,
No, we don't spend the money it would take
How many
to,
acres is it now altogether?
it's
Is it
close to
10?
10.
That- You just gotta convince them to give up 2, buddy. I mean, hey, we'll maintain the rest, but come on. 2.
I really,
Well,
It's gotta be some, I mean, I think if you keep working, you might be able to get a couple.
okay,
That's-
well, you know what, maybe so. If you don't, if you're willing to sell 2-3 acres,
Yeah, and we'll maintain.
and
the
we'll buy it
rest.
outright, and we won't mess with your church, we won't mess, you know, you're welcome to do all you want to with it. I mean,
But
if
it
if
sounds
we-
like he's not willing to sell at all,
Yeah.
period.
Period, not a
End
single-
of statement. That's,
No.
that's what I hear.
that's kinda what,
That was what I got.
Never say never.
But he was excited, again, when I said something about grant money, he was excited about.
yeah,
doing
but
it.
it just,
Excited
to
about
me,
doing what?
it feels a little
About
like
a
we could
lease.
put 10 years
Yes.
of work into this and it could all blow apart in our faces. I'm a
Well,
little
the
worried about
contracts
that.
and stuff like Simon said.
Okay,
I mean, we can do our best to prevent that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, nothing's guaranteed, you know, but we can do our
But
best.
I hear, I hear your valid point and your valid feeling, and this is why in an ideal, we really would like it downtown or something, or other property. I feel you, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Because I am too hesitant, however, I also understand the extensive amount of mitigating steps you can put in to prevent from that happening, because just like Sam said, a buyer's not gonna wanna walk into a lawsuit.
Well, then we, if he doesn't even agree, then we would have to make it higher.
Okay.
This lease.
I'm excited about the,
We'd have to raise a lot of money to get this whole thing going.
Oh, did we do that building, it'd be a lot of money.
You know, if he were to
But it
take
doesn't
that-
compare to the market value of that property.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm just thinking out loud that if he were to take a section of it and turn it into a parking lot and do like the churches in downtown San Antonio do, they lease out their parking lot that's full on Sunday morning, and it belongs, the dirt belongs to the church. But when they lease it out, First Baptist leases it out to businesses around there, and, when AT&T was right across the street, they used it Monday through Friday, and when they did, the comptroller came in and said, "Church, now you have to pay taxes on a portion, because this is not for religious
purposes.
This
purposes."
is money's for God.
But anyway, that maybe has nothing to do with anything, and that's just something from his perspective.
That is something
But
that.
if he leases.
I was really
it,
hoping we
that's
could
kind of
negotiate something where
it's
it's
not-
like, we'll pay all this stuff, we'll give you this, you keep this part and then give us that
Well, I'm
part.
looking at
And
what we
if
can do.
he leases it to a city, though,
a
He
lease
wouldn't
from the
have to
city.
pay taxes, because the city is
Yeah.
not taxable. So,
Well, we'll see, I mean, we'll see.
That's an incentive.
Yeah.
Not that his tax, the city taxes are very high to begin with,
And
but.
Zero.
And the money,
Yeah, he has
I
no
mean,
taxes over
when
there.
we got those buildings downtown,
If you could collect
they
some
were at
lease
least as
money.
bad
Yeah.
as that.
I think it's a
So-
little worse.
Yeah.
The floor in there is insane, it's all gonna have to
Yeah.
go.
You know, I mean, we hired
I
contractors,
think that's
jacked
churches
up walls
the
and, you know, so.
Well, I don't know, the rain was coming
It's,
down.
I know it's
You're
bad,
saying
but
there's
I've
nothing-
seen,
no,
I've seen at least as
bad as
bad.
that.
I can't do that shit. I want to badly.
I
I
know, I
do.
wouldn't have.
Okay, so I
Is
think
that
it's worth
viable?
another,
Yeah, I mean, we do
Oh, yeah,
have, she
we're
talked
not-
to him and we
still got other
kind of,
meetings.
it's, yeah. Paul was supposed to be here tonight, but I just pestered her, cause she's now the link. So we're gonna try to get a meeting,
Good.
hopefully before this grant gets written, but, you know, either way I can write the grant, because, you know, if we use our space or that space, I will still write a grant.
If he will start to negotiate,
Yeah.
no matter how asinine his demands are, or requests are.
Then we have a.
Then
funding
we
for it.
have we'll entertain that thought, and then we'll offer you this, and see how far we can go.
We did make Nicole an entity inhabitable, so she has some like habitable power behind her, which when we go in, it's not just like, you know, the only black person in Kingsbury is coming to plead with you. Not the only, there's Bo Peep and CT too, that I know.
And the other places you might have in mind, any potential, or have you explored any?
I certainly have, yeah. One is,
Where on?
I need to, yeah, I know, yeah, so maybe I know one, but I have reached out, I have not tracked down numbers.
What's
to
the
call.
acreage though of these places? Anything
Enough,
decent?
yeah, 5 or so.
Oh, okay.
Good. Structures, no?
Structures.
No?
Structures, none of
Okay.
them in good shape.
All right, that's all right.
All in downtown area.
Okay. If you need any help making phone calls or looking at property,
Tracking down numbers is the thing. Of course, this would all be.
Maybe, I was just thinking about that too.
Maybe school and then build a
Property
college.
I mean, he's
Well,
kind of
he
got,
actually,
that's what
but I don't know if it would.
he's kind of got his sights on developing the whole front.
He wants to develop the whole
I don't
front of
know.
storefronts.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's like the corner one and it's the acre that
Okay.
goes to another acre like that and not taking so much of the store, maybe, I'll talk to
That's true.
Simon,
Simon.
maybe.
I mean, but he only has 5 acres in his name now, so that's what's. he
Yeah,
gonna
I
give
know,
up, like-
that's a
That's-
whole,
yeah.
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 okay, I don't want to hijack the direction of this meeting, so maybe let's sidetrack just for a moment. We kind of all agreed that, yeah, we need a place.
we would like,
We'd like it, yeah, we'd like a place.
or we need one if we're gonna go forward.
If we're
with
go-
I mean, I
project.
think for the
If
needs
we're
of
before the
Kingsbury,
project.
we need some place to collect rainwater.
So,
you know, to drill a well.
I'm trying to understand what
Priority.
we think is the future of Kingsbury. What is it supposed to look like? What kind of town is it supposed to be? I mean,
I would like to see it be a place with arts at its center, a place where the community comes together, a place kind of like what it is. I mean, we're a small town mentality, we are a farming community, we are creative people who do things, we're hard workers. I mean, keep that vibe. And one thing Art said at the last meeting, because I pulled him aside because, you know, you voiced how upsetting, it is upsetting thinking that some developer could come and just.
It's not necessarily developers, it's just
Yeah.
any
But
unwanted,
anything.
you know,
But
from
what Art-
somebody, anybody in the world could.
But what Art suggested, as a Liberty City, we really can't do that much. And the people who have wanted to come into Kingsbury, you know, they want to be here. So, what he said was you could just do some kind of, nobody can divide land less than 5 acres. And then if you want to do like an acre or 2 or anything less, you have to come to city commission and ask for an exemption, which would at least put people in front of our, you know, is it a family asking for their son or daughter? Is it a developer? You know, who is it who's asking this?
With
I mean-
the right to charge a great big,
Exactly.
bill for the development, for the plat.
Yeah. And that could be a pretty simple, it's very
Yeah.
minimal
No,
law,
they're-
but it's very simple because it just forces anybody to come to us. They have to come through us.
I understand that, and that's fine. I mean, yeah, there's things you can do to minimize that kind of growth. What kind, do we want growth here, or do we want it to be stagnant?
It's not gonna be
No,
stagnant.
it's not.
I mean, I would love it to be stagnant.
Is
It's
it
not
the
gonna be
growth
stagnant.
or diminishing or stagnant?
It's not gonna be
I was
stagnant.
gonna say the same
It is
thing.
not
I
gonna be
want it
stagnant.
to be
Yeah, I would like it to be just
for
like
the
it
rest
is,
of my life,
but it's
and then
not gonna be.
Lack of planning for that, and it's gonna happen
No,
it's
anyway.
not gonna
It's
be
not
stagnant.
Yeah, no, it's gonna fill up and.
I wanted this Liberty City concept, although I knew we were gonna get at least, incorporated city, protect us from encroachment of other people's ideas, and laws and rules and regulations. But I wanted it as close, I think, I wanted it to be as close to unincorporated county as possible. I wanted our city to be as close to unincorporated county as possible. Minimal taxes, minimum regulation. I'm willing to abide by state laws. If the county regulations or rules are objectionable to me, I can go to their meeting and talk to them. I'm not gonna drive to Austin every day. Well, I might, but I wouldn't want to. But, I mean, I can have more influence there than I can in Austin. And I'll live with that, because right now, unincorporated is okay.
Yeah, don't tell Austin we're out here.
But no, I want them, I would like us to be what I think of as a Liberty City, truly low tax and low regulation.
Yep.
Independent, neighbors, living harmoniously.
Yeah, different philosophies
yeah,
of life, but living
yeah.
next to each other.
And
accepting
getting
each
along
other.
just fine, minimal effort. And I want to set an example, not just for the county, but for the state,
Exactly.
for the nation.
For the world.
The world's, there's places like this all over the world, they're just struggling like we are.
Yep.
But I would like it to be that way.
Yeah.
And if we can do these things, if we can do the church thing, but I'm not gonna get my heart
But yes,
set on it
it's
until
gonna
I have a
change, it's
meeting.
gonna change, I believe, we have no idea what it's gonna be like, we can't even imagine what it's gonna be like, 30 years from now, 40 years from now.
There's gonna be a lot more people, I'll tell you
Look at
that.
what has changed since I moved out here. Good grief. Good grief. It's, yeah, if I'd have known this, I wouldn't have stopped. I'd have kept going west or somewhere.
But I
But,
see your point, because you can't just plan being like, we're always gonna be a small town, we're always gonna be Liberty City and all that. Plan only for that and not be aware of
No.
what could happen. I get what you're saying. You can't be
I just-
ignorant to what is coming
I
down
don't,
the
I
pipe.
don't, well, in my American history class in high school back in the second of the century before this. Yeah. It was like the 5-year plan. The 5-year plan. That was how the USSR did things, with a 5-year plan. Those administrators sat up there and they drew out the way life was going to be for the next 5 years. And by God, they made it happen, no matter what it cost you. And that was an evil place to live. You don't want your country to be like, no, we don't want our country to be like that. But I'm hearing 5-year plans here. And it's the same, to me, it's the same thread. They're gonna make the plan, and it's supposed to be wonderful, and I'm supposed to just go along with it.
Who's making a 5-year plan?
People that have the ability to influence your life legally, and which is, now, I don't know, I don't want to rat on myself, but I'm probably doing something that's not legal where I live. I'm probably, I probably did something not legal coming here tonight. But nothing happened, and it's okay, and if it does happen, well, then I'll pay the consequences, But in the meantime, I said, no, you want me to do that? Stupid, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not hurting you, I'm not hurting anybody else. Potential is almost happened. It didn't happen, it almost happened. So anyways, I'm getting off sidetracked. But where are we gonna be? What are we gonna be? I want to, like I said, my idea of what a Liberty City is, that's what I want here. You live your life, you come out here and live your life. I don't like the way some of my neighbors do things they do, but that's theirs, I wish they would be, but no, I said they're wishing stuff about me. And I said, we all meet at the mailbox and, hey, how you doing? How's everything? Blah, 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 blah. How's the weather? How's your kids? You know, man, you buy groceries lately and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Is that your dog? Yeah, that's my dog. Is he bothering you? No, Well, yours got my wife's car the other day when she had her door open. Oh my God, no, really? I said, yeah, but don't worry about it. It's okay. You know, and it's like, yeah. And we just go on, and everybody has their own little life they're living, and it's great. And we're no taxes and minimal regulation, really almost no regulation here. And in the Liberty City concept as being a legitimate municipality in the state of Texas is going to come back around again, I think. And I want us to have input on how they write that, if they do. Write another piece of legislation, proposed legislation to make Liberty City a viable, real, legitimate.
But there's a price to pay for having it.
Yes.
It's a double-edged, I mean, it's, low regulation city is a mixed blessing because we don't want to be regulated and we don't want our neighbors regulated. But that means if you're low regulation, in the eyes of a developer, it sure is easier to go out to Kingsbury and
Well, that's
build
why we got all the
Kingsbury than
gambling
it is to
halls.
go fight City Hall in Seguin and pay them a $50,000 flat fee and everything else, and I can go do that. I can just file a plat with Guadalupe County for anything around here because we don't have any regulation.
That's how we end up with the dump.
Yeah. But that's, that's where our influence.
No.
We could have some. I guess we could have influence in our
it could-
community, but it's a small.
It could have
Our
been
city
in
limits
the
are
city.
small.
You couldn't have done
And
anything.
why? Because we can't expand because of why? Because of roads mostly. But there are people who just don't want to bother. So, but the county could jack their rates up the same, And when my neighbors, I want to sell off an acre to my kids, and the county's going to charge me $20,000. Can't you do something about it? No, because the county's doing that. So that guy with the 300 half-acre mobile home lots, he can't do it. Well, I guess he could if he's got that much money. I guess he could, but
He did, didn't he?
I don't know.
He platted it.
I don't know, but not.
You're just talking about
potential. Yeah, $20,000 a plat. They do it like that. But like I said, they have to have water. They have to have septic. Why does this? I don't understand the septic system. Minimum requirements: half acre or 1 acre. I think it's 1 acre for the county.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the state too. No, I think 1 acre minimum.
It's 1 acre.
Property for a
You need one
septic.
every
For
half acre.
Yeah.
1 acre, I think it's 1 acre for a septic system, minimum. Less than that,
You
you
cannot subdivide less than half acre. I think in the counties.
okay, and that's, you need to jack that up.
I use the word gene like Lincoln.
Yeah.
Because to me, even if your septic system's working great, a half acre solid, that's a lot of sewage being filtered out in that soil. And I said, yeah, it's a lot.
This area too, which is going to
That's a
affect the
lot,
weather and a lot of
and
impact.
I don't think they should do it that way.
Well, I mean,
Well-
from what this so-called brewery, apparently they're allowed to flush the refuse into the creek. It's organic. And that's kind of a problem with,
Where's this brewery?
Like they're
Do you know about this?
Is it open?
yeah, no, not yet.
They're supposed
This is next
to,
door.
they have to check at the outlet of like SMI and somebody else manufacturing. They have to check downstream of
It's organic.
the creek for pollutants that they're putting in.
they still have to check.
But you overload it with organics.
I don't know, that's what has been told to me, that is a problem with breweries in other locations because they're allowed to run their refuse, runoff, byproduct into creeks.
The byproduct of
Like
making beer.
not the mash.
Right, yeah.
That's a lot of oats.
I know.
You block up the creek. That doesn't make any sense.
Most
it-
brewers sell the mash.
I would, that's what I was
You
saying.
need some liquid
Most of
off
it
You
would
need
be
liquid,
selling.
liquid off,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, and the creek goes too long. So, and so I have no way to, I have nothing I can do.
Well, you have to same with the water.
But they're
state of Texas.
It's in
It's in Kingsbury?
Where is this building gonna be built?
the one who wants to,
So north of you?
that's how it's gonna happen.
North of you, not north of you, north of you then. Or whatever, like towards Will's from you.
But this,
Okay, that's
this is
north.
their
close to
plan?
Will.
Have they started any kind of construction at all?
No, that's what they bought this property house.
They bought it for?
The downtown house or
Yeah.
Will's downtown house
Yeah.
or the
Where
one?
he actually lives.
Okay.
From what Art said,
That's not the
that
color,
is a
though.
problem in other locations because they're allowed to direct their byproducts into the, and smoke and whatever it does to whatever it does because it's organic. I said, well, the pork pie back there is organic.
Yeah.
But the blue stuff
That's
may
right.
not be, but
I
everything
know,
else
the blue
is.
stuff may not be, but you know, I mean, just because it's organic
You ever
doesn't
have your
necessarily
septic
mean it's
tank
organic.
pumped out?
So you go shit on their yard every day and go, hey, organic.
You ever have,
Yeah.
you ever have
But-
your septic tank pumped out?
Yeah, that's
dinosaur.
organic.
What do they do with it?
They
Totally
don't
organic.
what do they do with
That's
it?
what I was wondering.
We
I looked
went
up-
through this whole thing with the thing.
I looked on my receipt.
Anyway, so,
Where you
but
take it.
yeah, I mean, that's a, yeah.
They take it to a field out. near the
I
next
mean, I wish
colony
it was
somewhere.
next year or next year, but
But
it's not.
the address is, I looked on Google Maps.
Well, not change the subject, but kind of bring us back
Yeah,
to the
come back.
concept
Yes, ma'am.
of what we want in the
Yes.
Liberty City. So I've been, reading about this idea, it's, of the commons. You guys know the commons, the common green, the commons. So the commons is basically cultural and natural resources available to all members of the community, including natural minerals such as air, water, and habitable earth. These resources are held in common, even when owned privately or publicly. It might be worthwhile to talk about the commons in Kingsbury because the commons is a place we all own these spaces. So how do we create a city that doesn't take away freedoms, people's personal freedoms, but also freedom isn't free unless everybody's free. So if I'm polluting my little area, but my pollution is coming into your area and destroying your land, that's not freedom for everybody anymore. So what does that mean? You know, I mean, the commons, I think, maybe
Yeah,
we
if
should
they
think
put
about
a
that. Like anybody
plant
who's
that's
polluting water, air.
You and drain your well, that's not, you know, right
Yeah,
now,
that's-
that's be allowed.
Yeah. I don't know, something to think about. I don't know how we write it in, and I don't know what the plan is for actually writing all of this stuff is.
So all of that would go into a strategic plan for the city of Kingsbury.
And who's writing that? You. Yay! Excellent.
So I've already, in fact, on Monday, I'll do an entire presentation that will set up with what I think are the best overall arching goals, which actually fit these that you're already talking about as programs or opportunities. But the strategic plan would help with the vision statement, mission statement, as well as with the goals that the city wants to achieve, environmental protection, Liberty City, commons, those types of things. But those are things that all have to be worked out. But what I want to be able to show everybody on Monday is how that structure looks, what those steps are, some ideas based on what I've seen so far, and then turn it over to you guys to go over and
That fits right into to what I understood the grant consultant was talking to us about on the.
Correct, because any type of grant writing that you're gonna do needs to reflect back to the city's, your main strategic plan and that vision and those goals and objectives that the city has set out that have identified those needs of the community and those other things. And so that will help with your grant writing.
And we're moving closer to that realization, aren't we? All the time.
Yeah, and I think we write it out and, you know, the church can be put in if by some miracle we can get that land, but if not, we write it out with perennial food forest, classroom,
Exactly.
off-grid thing, water, this idea of commons, I mean, where people could, and a
also-
perennial food forest.
This also,
Pursue the church,
It also
pursue the church, see how it
could go
turns out.
into
If it goes away,
potentially
whatever we end up with, you look at it and you think, because it'll fall to you, right there.
I had to go all the way back
Oh,
to the
we could do
beginning.
that right there, we can do that right there.
And the comprehensive
It's
plan
all-
would involve also.
That
engineering, like-
there's something that we don't have, we're trying to get, so you saw him and he said,
It
oh,
magnifies
here,
down.
here, here, here.
Right.
I
If
can't
you
really
do-
understand what anybody's saying, because
It goes,
Sorry.
multiple
great,
people are
that- that-
talking.
Yeah.
Whatever we end up with. we gotta
Okay,
look
one
at
at a
it.
time, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
And do we need to put a time limit on tonight, or?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
ready to go.
By the way, real quick, when, I think Meyerberger, when he was, I think it was when he was chief, came to the city and told him he needed a plan. And, I don't know how much time he has to go right now, but he's really good at that apparently. And he could, I don't know if it's about helping as much as pointing in the right direction and all that kind of stuff, but he's apparently really good at those and was willing to help the city when he was chief, write a strategic plan. But
Awesome.
that might be a really good resource.
Oh, thank you. What's
Check
his,
out. Is Myron Burger with the fire department.
burger?
Delightful, even though it can be rough on the surface.
Like I said, I don't know how much time he has. He's a full-time firefighter insurance, and he volunteers here too. But he was at one time really willing to help, so he probably still is in some sort of capacity.
His probably part of the strategic plan would probably be like what to do in an emergency as well, which we
Well, he
do
has
do
all
the
the
time.
federal stuff, and like he knows all that stuff you need to know.
Well, I'm interested to see what our plan looks like outside of this, outside of the core group.
Hey, just before we break, I'm just, so we are talking composting toilets, right, in there, or are we not?
Where?
At this future building that we're building, this off-grid?
I would like to.
Okay,
That's-
I'm gonna put that in, because I'm gonna
I
write,
think-
I'm
I
gonna
think
start
that
writing
would
these
be-
grants, and I think
I
that would
think that
also
would
be
be
great.
smart.
I love composting toilets, as you guys
I
know.
would
I
like,
use
I would
septic
like our
systems.
state
I flush
facility to
decently
be
good water down
an
the
example
toilet.
for everybody that moves out here that you can have a compost.
Alternative.
You don't have to have this,
Water consumption.
yeah, high water consumption septic
Septic.
system. This works. You don't have to have crystal clear
Because
hooked up.
because
Or you
the
don't have
city
to
of
have
Kingsbury
drill
is
a well.
not building a sewage
Yeah.
plant.
Now, and
That's
you
the
can-
whole street on
you
we
can
are
collect enough
not.
rainwater to probably
No.
provide for most of your needs, you know.
Welcome to freedom
yeah.
from sewage plant.
Those are solar water heater.
Yes, I was
Whatever.
gonna-
I
Just
just
example,
went to my
example.
kitchen today, and I asked
It
him
can
to
be
put his
put
hand
either
under it, and
under
it was
the
so hot.
CDC or
Barely
as-
keep it under there.
Well, it's not I'm like, I'll be very excited. How is this so hot? Stay inside.
I don't even want to
So
put it
easy.
on.
This is why it's so freezing.
And
I'm
I'm
very
in a
KCC,
spiral,
because we're
painted
trying
black.
to help us city.
Yeah, okay.
Which is what that committee is supposed to do.
Does it,
Um,
you retain the heat at night?
So at night, you have to do a few
It's a
other
standing-
things, but it's gonna be attached to, we're gonna do like a
Just instead of the
thermal
Don't do
report,
dishes at night.
water storage, so it goes in there and then
Take
it'll
a,
probably.
take an old water heater
for strategic plan.
and put you some copper coil in there.
Cool.
And,
Thank you.
Oh, I've totally investigated,
and,
hot tub
after-
yeah,
with,
fill it up,
oil.
let it hold water, hold
You
the
know,
heat.
and
in your
wood
coils.
burning.
Oh, that's
You do that, you do.
Paint black.
Yeah,
You have
and
a little
just
pressure,
any kind of container that will hold heat, or, you know, water or sand, whatever you need, and have your water line, a lot of copper coil, big water, volume, just hold it, you know, you get a lot of gallons in that tubing, if you grab it.
did you put anything in the middle? Did you do that?
No, I remember that from Mother Earth.
I'm just wondering for thermal mass, would
60
you wanna
years ago.
pack it with like earth or
Do you think
something?
sand or
So I would
water?
do sand, or just, air, air is a great insulator too, you know, it really is.
So, yep.
You
so-
insulate the outside, or
Yeah,
yank
whatever,
gain on it.
whatever, composting toilets, water catchment.
We can get those water assist ones, they look almost like normal toilets.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
But
I've always had concerns about them in
Communal.
a
Commercial.
dance hall environment.
Yeah.
oh, dance hall, yes, no, but at City Hall, like, come on.
I was
everyone-
just a little bit.
No
I
Let's make it
don't
worse,
know
no
if
dancing in the
somebody
city
would
hall.
would
I
be able to
agree,
use
I
that.
think you need a septic in your dance
Yeah.
hall. That would be a big old.
I don't think anybody,
I don't wanna get into a situation there, that would be very bad.
no, I did not.
Every pun intended.
Yes.
I
That
think
is
what
definitely
y'all are
been.
talking about is, but I was gonna maybe remind you of the fact that eligible activity,
wastewater.
Yeah, wastewater.
So that you could fold that in. I mean, or maybe that's a change of direction. So when we do the grant application, we're gonna either do water. She said that those are the only two priority areas that we could qualify for. And that's
Yeah.
water system improvements or wastewater.
Yeah, and just,
Yeah.
and
Well,
like,
water
for the
system, we have
citywide, no, but public, open, example, 24 hours a day, come and look at it, see how it works, use it. If you're gonna build a house out here, you wanna move back, do this, save you lots of money.
Yeah,
And keeps the place cleaner too.
yeah. And then back to the main.
But there's all kinds of things,
water.
there's all kinds of things that we could get grant money
With
for.
gray water.
We need a place to put it though.
That's true.
That's the
It's a flush
problem.
We need a
toilet
place to
with
put it,
gray
but I
water.
mean, like, so Shane and I,
Water lawns, flowers.
I think we have a backup plan at the very least. I just was very worried about like a lease. Now I guess that's more solid than I thought, but I just don't want to go through all this work for no option. But at the very least, we have our property, so we can go through.
Downtown would be convenient, it'd be nice,
Downtown would be awesome.
it'd be perfect. However, I'm going like, from downtown to your place.
2.2 miles.
I know, and I said,
And there's plenty of Kingsbury
I
people who
drove
live.
10 times that when I lived in Austin, just to get to the grocery store. And 3 times that to get to
2.2
work,
miles away.
Yeah.
I drove 30 miles to get to
close.
work, 30 miles to get home. It's nothing, you don't think anything about it.
100 years from now, this is all gonna be part of Kingsbury. We're gonna be in the middle of it.
Didn't
Right.
she also say
I
that
hope not.
the CBD grants still are
We're going CBD.
influenced? Well, it was on the agenda.
Let's just do the other stuff.
I'm with you.
Anyway, that is, a big part of that is the poverty level and whether you're using it for.
Yes, the socioeconomic,
Socioeconomic.
socioeconomic and
So-
targeted populations,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's, I saw one years ago in Karnes County, and I'm not suggesting that we should do it, but they went in and got a grant for building septic in some of the people. They found that there was a problem in Karnes County with a lot of people that had no septic system whatsoever. And so they got a grant and put in,
So part
they
of-
took 25 residents. They had
Yeah.
a survey, they had to identify the people who were susceptible and had the problem. And they got a grant then, and they built and wrote contracts with septic people and put in 25 of them around the county. And I think it was a $500,000 grant. But that's the kind of thing you have
That's
to.
what we could do.
And it
That's
helps
what
the
we could
residents.
do.
Yeah.
It's only the.
And it's,
But we have to find the
Lower
source of the
socioeconomic, yeah.
demographics
Right.
for our area.
and that'll come with research.
Yeah.
That's something that everyone will have to divvy up a little bit of research to do.
And I think that maybe grant works. I mean, they said only water, but what about a heating and cooling space, emergency heating cool space? Like that seems government grant worthy. I don't know.
Well, but
Maybe there's maybe we can pinpoint some other things
But I
for them
think
to
it
find
has,
us
it
money
has to,
on.
it has
Landlords
to, it
aren't
has to
even
be within
required
the
to
priorities
give you
of the
grant.
COG,
Yeah.
of the rural government. That's why grant is focusing on
Yeah,
waters,
like,
because it has to
giving
follow
money
the
for air
COG.
conditioning.
Yes, but I mean, there's a lot of USDA grants. Actually.
Oh, no, I actually,
I'm just gonna
it's just, this is with Texas Water Development.
So they only work with Texas. I thought they did a.
I think-
anyway.
No, they
I thought-
said that if we hired them, they would be looking out for different grants that we could apply for.
Yeah,
Okay, but
when
that's
we
just
know
their
where we're
special-
going.
That's just their special,
Yeah.
right.
We
Well,
know
there
where
are
we're
quite a
going.
few USDA.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those grants allow you to buy land if we were ever able to do that. So that's good
Yes.
to know about it. And there's also grants for,
If we
grants
could-
for everything.
If we could maintain a payment for a while, hopefully find some grant money eventually to pay it off, that'd be great too.
Yeah.
But, you gotta get our foot in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Get that.
meeting adjourned.
All right.
I'm hungry.